Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel called Walk With Me. In today's video, I've done this before. It was a letter to women, and today's going to be that same type of style of video. And this video here is called A Letter to Fear. It starts like this. The leading cause of suffering in the world today is you, fear. You have crippled many and controlled the lives of many. Even the most courageous of men are crippled at the sight of you. You cause men and women alike to tremble at your roar. People sacrifice most of their potential because they run away from you. They don't know how to face you, my friend. So they spend their entire lives running in endless loops and circles of torment. Their greatest peace is being without you, fear, until you come back as you always do and rob them of their peace. You cripple their minds and rob them of joy. You strip them of their peace. Happiness you make invisible to them. Why do you do what you do to people? Don't you have something better to do? I'm upset at you. My heart rings with compassion for all of those who run into you. But I have sat with you, my friend, and you have taught me much. So now I wonder, are you actually the problem? Most will say that you are against us and from the devil, but I say that you are for us and sent directly from God. You protect us when we don't know we need protection. Nothing disciplines a man quicker than fear, and if something disciplines us and is good for us, then is it then bad? Actually, maybe you aren't the problem, but I am instead the true problem. If I could get to know your name and I would shake your hand, you would vanish. Why do I automatically choose to run away from you? This is a choice that I make, and the more I run, the more you chase after and increase. The more I stay in place with you, the more you stop chasing, and then I learn. So I apologize to you, fear, for not noticing that you were all along a friend to teach. You are nothing more than a corrective measure from God guiding me towards heaven and life. I thought you wanted to kill me all along, but you were just trying to restore my mind. So now that I know that, next time I see you come up, I'll sit with you and get to know your name. I will learn from you. Now go along and teach many more as you have taught me. Discipline every man and woman with your wrath. Destroy every man and woman's idols and crush all of our pride as we tremble at the sight of you. That's the end of the letter. This is called A Letter to Fear. I wrote this because I know that many people are struggling with fear in this world today. And I know this why, because I struggle with fear myself, and I still do struggle with fear. It's a thing that you have to kind of learn to struggle with in a way. You have to learn to sit with. You have to learn to allow your mind to get there so that eventually you have a clearer vision of what it actually is. What actually is going on here in the midst of this fear. There's only fear in darkness. There's no fear in light. There's only fear in evil. There's no fear in good. Notice this. Believe this. And the purpose of fear is so that you can learn to flee away from evil. To walk away from evil. Fear has guarded me from much evil. I notice that anything I do evil of an evil nature, fear comes as a result, and I tremble at the sight of it. The noticing of this one key noticing is noticing that I'm not in control, especially of lust. Lust is the thing that has really, it's my greatest teacher I have in this life. Lust is my greatest teacher. It's the most disciplined, it's the most humbling thing there is in this life. It's lust, because I have no control over it. I know that I'm better off without lust. I know this in my heart, but I can't get rid of it. I know that I would be much more at peace without lust, but lust is there and it causes most of my problems I have. It is the cause of the anxiety. It is the cause of the fear. It is the cause of the torment. It is the cause of all these things. But I just have to learn how to not give into it, because it also entices me. While at the same time entices me, it tries to trap me in a box and keep me there. But I sit here with it and I see you. And I say this all the time in my mind. I see you. I see you there. I will not allow you to have power and control over me. And it's not out of hate, it's out of understanding, because I understand you a little more now. I see that you have your own ways. You want something that you and my spirit are against each other. What my spirit desires, you desire the opposite. My spirit desires freedom, happiness, and joy. You desire pleasure. And that does not lead to happiness and joy. Pleasure leads to imprisonment, the exact opposite of freedom. It leads to discontent, the opposite of joy. It leads to fear, which blinds you from everything there is in the world. And it's truly the most humbling thing there is. Because I notice I'm walking, I'm at home, I'm in peace. I'm in my room, I'm in peace. I'm calm, my mind is calm. I'm in a good state. I'm at peace. I'm feeling happiness. There's joy here. My heart is filled with compassion. And then I go off to work. I see something that I can't control if I see. I'm at work. I'm trying to do my job. My intentions in being at work is not to do anything but to do my job. But then boom, here it goes. Something passes my vision. My eyes see something and my body becomes aroused. And I have this built up habit of habitually going towards what, at least my body doesn't go towards it anymore, but my mind goes towards it. My mind wants and craves this thing that I didn't choose to be there. I didn't put this there. I didn't put lust into this world. I found it here. I didn't choose this body. I was given this body. I didn't choose to have sexual desires, but I found them within this body. So my job is to how then do I handle these things so that they don't block my vision, so that they don't block me from happiness. Because I'll tell you now, you cannot have an overload of lust and have happiness at the same time. It's impossible. You have to sacrifice one for the other. You choose lust or you choose happiness. Which one will you put first? Joy? Or will you put lust first? I say this seriously, and you have to be careful. I have to be careful. I'm talking, when I make most of these videos, I'm not talking to you guys. I really am, but I'm not. I'm talking to myself a lot of the time. These are conversations with myself almost that other people get to hear and listen to as well. Do not allow your pride to take over. Watch your pride, see it, and disperse of it the moment you see it. Do not welcome it in. If you are to be prideful, at least do not welcome that pride that's in your mind. Do not look at it as a good thing. That's really the problem with most of these things. Like, okay, there's lust there. It's not your fault. It's just the way you look at things. The way you see things determines where you go, determines your direction. And we've been raised into a world that's so evil that they teach us to see things not the way that we should see them. They teach us to see lust as a good thing. But now I don't see lust that way. I see lust as something trying to overtake me, something trying to drag me and carry me away into a prison cell. I see that and I know that now. And with the thought of this, with the knowledge of this, I shall make my decisions. See, before I was acting from the knowledge of, not the knowledge, but from the mindset, because mindset is important in this. I was acting from the mindset that lust was a good thing. Lust was for me. Lust was my friend. Lust was the best thing there is in the world. Nothing was better than lust. That's what I was brought up into. That's the way my mind was trained before. Nothing is better than lust. I have this phone in front of me and it's a lust machine. I can go to this phone here and I can search up anything I want and I can see the most beautiful of women. I can see the craziest of things. I can do that through this phone, and I know that. And that's how I was brought up. I used this phone a lot for the wrong reasons. I used my resources the wrong way. But now I see this phone as something a lot different. I have the same phone in front of me, but now I see this phone as a way to knowledge. I have YouTube videos online where I can listen to millions of teachers from around the world. I can listen to many wise men, many wise women, many wise people guide me. So it's just in me changing the way I look at this phone. It changes its whole use. It changes my mindset towards it. The same with lust. Changing the way I look at lust, it changes my whole view and my mindset towards it. So now instead of seeing lust as my friend and something to get pleasure from and indulge into, I see lust as my teacher. I see lust as my it's something that humbles me. It's something to overcome. It's not something to be proud of. I saw this something to be proud of before. I see a beautiful woman. How is it that how can we be proud of things that we did nothing for? It's one thing to be proud of something you did something for and you actually had to work for. Even that is bad too, but How much worse is it to be prideful of something you had nothing to do with? How foolish is it to be prideful of, let's say I'm good in the bedroom, or I'm this or that. How foolish it is of us men and women alike to be proud of something that we did nothing for. It takes nothing. It takes, I'm sorry, I'm talking a little bit too aggressive. It takes nothing to go and find a woman and have sex with her. It takes literally nothing. It takes no effort. It takes no strength. It takes no endurance. It takes no type of effort whatsoever. So why then are we men, listen, please. Why then are we looking at it as it's something to be proud of? Why do you think it's something to be proud to go around and sleep with 50 women, 60 women? Why do you think the higher your body count, the better it is for you? This is a sign of weakness. This is nothing to be proud of. This is something to overcome. This is not something to go around and flaunt about it. Tell people about it as if it's a good thing. If you are to tell people about them, why you tell them that you are weak? Mention that in there too. Do not leave that out. Because you do not go and have sex with women out of strength. You do not go and have sex with women because you're strong. You go and have sex with women because you're weak. You can't resist. I can't resist. We can't resist those inner desires within our hearts, within our bodies. We can't resist these feelings and these pleasurable feelings. We can't resist them. So we fall to weakness and we are controlled by them. Controlled by this body. Controlled by our passions. We don't love others. Instead, we lust after. Everything we do is out of lust. Our mind is filled with lust. I was at the gym yesterday and I heard this guy say something so great, man. Because it was a dude before him. And I decided to listen in on this conversation because it really intrigued me and brought me in. I was coming out the restroom and he said, dang it. He's like, hey, bro, why do you talk like that? Because the other dude was basically saying, like, everyone hates me. Like, everybody hating this or that, but it's okay. Like, you know that mindset, like, everybody hating on me. It's okay. I'm going to show them this, looking in the mirror. He's like, hey, man, why you talk like that? And then when he left, I heard him, he talked to himself in the mirror. And he was basically like, man, this is why you don't love yourself. They teach you to love yourself. Don't worry about loving yourself. Love others. Because when you love yourself, you can't even see the love from others. When you love yourself, it will seem as if everyone else hates you. But when you love others, all is love. You get nothing out of loving yourself is basically what he was saying. This world is so full of hate. He said it's too easy to... I remember these words vividly. He said it's too easy to hate. It's too easy to hate. Hate is a weak emotion. It's too easy. And that's true. And that's the same with lust. Lust is a weak emotion. It's too easy. It's hard to love. Easy to hate. It's easy to lust. It's hard to love. Take the harder routes. Take the harder routes, because the harder routes are what teach you. The easy routes do not teach you any. Well, they do teach you, but they don't teach you in a good way. They torment you. You learn. I'm gonna end the video here, y'all. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a good one.